Is it coming up? Can you see my screen now? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So without wasting much of our time, today we are going to do a quick quiz. Once it is 8:45, please remind me once it is 8:40 so that I can post the link to the quiz. And it's just 2 minutes quiz, and again it's just 5 questions. So I'm going to be using this to collate it. Then after the everything, anybody that scores below 70% in the quiz will not be will not be granted access to the final examination. Anything 70% and above, you are automatically qualified to write the final examination. And that final examination, something beautiful is behind it. So but let's just anticipate. So today we are going to move to our next topic on the content, which is pre-engagement interactions. Pre-engagement interactions. So I'll be generalizing it. I'll be using we now because we are now the same thing. All of you are now my ogas. So we as a penetration testers, we have so many things and so many rules to follow to guide us. But the aim of this section in particular, the P test means penetration testers, is to present and explain the tools and techniques which is available to aid in a successful pre-engagement steps of a penetration tester or as a professional penetration testers. The information within this section is the result of so many years combined of different experience from experts. That is exactly what we are going to be doing here. What are the rules that we must follow as a cybersecurity guys or as a ethical hacker guys? So we have rules that must guide us or that we must follow. Either any organization set it or due to our certifications, we have so many rules that we must follow. If you go against these rules, it might, or yes, it can take you or make you to be a non-ethical cybersecurity guys or non-ethical hackers. Now, the rules of engagement defines how testing is to occur, like with what we are seeing on the screen. A clear timeline should be established for the engagement. And what does this mean? If you are an ethical hacker and you are employed or hired, maybe on contract-based levels, any job you are being offered, or yes, any job or any contract you are being given, make sure you sign a contract. In fact, we have method of writing reports and we have method of signing contracts. A clear timeline should be established for any engagement. Before you embark on any contract, don't just be eager that, oh, I want a contract, I just want to start. Just make sure that you have a timeline being established. You yourself and the organization should sit, communicate. Again, do not let them give you time. You be the one to choose or to decide the time that it's going to take you before you finish the job. So that is a particular rule. Is one of the rules that we must follow. Once this is stated in the document, make sure you go through it. If you have a lawyer, make sure you go through it over and over with your lawyer, over and over, so that you won't put yourself in trouble, because there are a lot of things behind being a cybersecurity or an ethical hacker. If care is not taken, or we pray we don't end up in jail. But if you are a professional, and what will make you to be a professional is one of those things that we are going to be treating together. For example, this number one, I am intentionally trying to, I'm not wasting time, but I'm trying to explain more on this particular first point. A clear timeline should be established between yourself and the organization. There's another thing we call scope. The scope defines the start and the end point of an engagement, and the rules of the engagement defines everything in between. So these are two different things we must consider. And it should be understood that the timeline will change as the test progresses. I don't want to allow, because if I allow you guys to start giving references, it might make it too congested. But I will just give us a very quick one, and the one that is closer to everyone. Look at what is going on. Let's assume I've won a particular contract for maybe in the last 2-3 weeks, and probably last week, between last week and today, we have a lot of disruptions in the network, and while I'm doing pen testing, I must use network. Whereas I've signed, don't forget I've signed an agreement, and I've clearly stated the time frame to finish the job. Now, over a week now, I have challenges with my network. So all of these things should be considered, should be put into considerations before. Again, there are unforeseen circumstances that we must just guess. Okay, even if a job is going to take you 2 hours, it is advisable for you or for us as a cybersecurity guys or an ethical hacker, we should add extra time, so that it is going to be very, very awesome if we can finish the job before the time frame rather than exceeding the time. So it's better you add, if the job is going to take us 3 hours maximum, don't state it in your document that it's going to take you 3 hours. No, add extra to it. Then if they try to beat, to apologize, just to beg that, okay, bring it out, don't just make sure you know in your mind that it's not going to take up to that. But just to be on the safer side, just try to add extra hours or extra weeks. I'm just using hour. There's no job that will take hours. I'm just using hour. If it's going to take 4 weeks, add extra 1 week. If it's going to take 3 months, add extra 2 weeks, just to balance. Just don't know what might happen. So that is just it. So these two things are very, very important. The scope and the rules of the engagement, they are very, very important. Now, I've said that it should be understood that the timeline will change as the test process progresses. However, having a rigid timeline is not the goal of creating one. Another parameter of any given engagement is important to establish with the customer ahead of time, like what I've explained so far. Everything you have on the screen, I've just tried to put it in my own words, then explain it. Now, go to towards the third line. In this situation, now, traveling to every customer's location should be avoided. If we see what we have on the screen, before that statement, let's assume you might not be familiar with it yet, but most of us that are already a pen tester before now, there are situations whereby you'll be given a scope, and the scope is just your target. Let's assume you are given a scope, a particular IP address to pen test, or a particular web application to test. And in this case, you maybe they have branch here, they have one application here is connected to another application in another state or another countries. You don't need to travel from one place to another, start jumping from one place to another. No, to be on the safer side, we advise us to use what is called a VPN. That's a private network. That's the virtual private network, VPN connection. It will save you time. So you just be at a corner, maybe in your room or in your office or anywhere. Then with your VPN, you can use it to do whatever you want to do. So that is that about some rules. But here, what you should just focus on, most especially, is this, what we call a clear timeline should be established. It is very, very important. I'm saying it again, it is very, very important. So now we have multi-tier web applications. We have multi-tier web applications. We are going to do some pen tests on some of web applications that are built intentionally. They made them vulnerable. We are going to lay our hands on some of them. So, as more complex web applications are being used today, the traditional ways of deploying web applications on a single system is a story of the past. Fine. All eggs in one basket is not a clever way to deploy a business critical applications, as it severely affects the performance and security and availability of these applications. The simple design of a single server hosting the application as well as the data works well only for small web applications, blah blah blah, not much traffic. So what we are saying here is this. The next slide will explain this better. What we are trying to say here is this. For those of us that maybe we don't know the difference between applications, we have a lot of applications. We have the one that has to do with web, that is web applications. We have mobile also. Then we have network itself. So these three applications are very, very important. In fact, they are the most common one we are using as of today. But I will say from my own end that in most cases, web applications carry the lion's share, because every now and then there's nothing you do that you have to go to the web. So, and these web applications, there are some of them that are vulnerable. Any organization now as of today, wow, someone is just joining. Good. Just try to help us to mute your mic. Thank you. Just try, please. There's no organization as of today. Even me myself that I'm starting up, I'm planning to have my own web application as well. So, and in this case, web is more increasing every day and every day. So that is that. In a three-tier web applications, there's a physical separation between the presentation, application, and the data layer described as follow. Let's see what we mean by web applications. The first thing we are going to be discussing under web application is the presentation layer. Don't worry, I will show you a visual picture that will explain it very well with us. I've included it in this slide. So let's see what we mean by presentation layer. The presentation layer is the server where the client connections hit and the exit point through which the response is sent back to the client. From the word presentation. Presentation means you already have the thing, then you want to present it. I'm using normal English this time. When we say presentation, you that you want to present, definitely the thing is with you already. So the presentation layer in web application is, we are talking about the server side. We are talking about the server side. You as a client, you want to browse a web. Let us know, I want to use Google. Google is common. www.google.com. What do you want to search for? Just put in anything. The presentation layer, whatever you put there, is going to go to the server side. So that server side is known as what? The presentation layer. And I remember yesterday that if you want to do very well in this cybersecurity of a team and ethical hacking, we must be familiar with web development itself. How to design a web, even if it is not everything, but you must have an idea. You must have an idea of web applications.
Sorry.
Yeah, please. All right. So you must have an idea of how to design the web applications. So if you look at what we have under the presentation layer is critical to the web application. Like we have said, if as of today, if anybody say you want to hack, What are we hacking? We are hacking the presentation layer. That's the server. Nothing concern me with you yourself or your profile. No, because all your details that I want to steal is not with you, is with someone, which is the server. So that is why it's stated there that the presentation layer is critical to the web application. Is the most, in fact, is the most critical part of every web applications. The data received at the presentation layer is passed to the component in the application layer for processing. Then the output received is formatted using HTML. So this time around, by the time we start using some tools, some information gathering tools, there's no way we won't come across HTML. And if at the end you are a novice in understanding HTML code, I'm sure there's no way you do well. Why? Because it's just like me. I was born here in Nigeria, I schooled in Nigeria, and someone just stood up and gave me a textbook written with Chinese language that I should start reading. I'll just be looking at it. That's exactly what is going to happen. If at the end, even if you use automated tools to scan any scope, by the time the output comes to you with HTML and you are not familiar with HTML, so it's going to look totally different to you. So I will just advise us, as we progress in this course, even if it is just HTML, CSS alone, it's good just to understand, so that if you come across any HTML code, then you should be able to say, okay, this is what this means, this is what this means. And most especially, the target, the thing you should target most, I'm giving you very good hint now. In every HTML, the thing you should target most is the form aspect. If you are learning HTML as a cybersecurity, if you are learning HTML as an ethical hacker, the thing you should target most is how to understand form. Creating a form, how to understand it. Make sure you go and understand it very, very well. It is very, very important. So that is that. So let's look at another layer. So we have the application layer. We have talked about the presentation layers. So this is another layer, which is called the application layer. Please, am I still audible? I just need someone to testify if I'm still.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, you are.
All right. Thank you very much. So another application that we must consider when we are talking about web application is the application layer itself. The processor intensive processing is taken care in the application layer. Once the presentation layer, which is the first one, and which is the most, in fact, I will use delicate, which is the most delicate part in the web application. After that one has collected every required data from the client and passes it into the main application layer. What is the application layer? The what you can see, exactly what you can see. For instance, now let me use Facebook. We all download Facebook. We can all visit Facebook web. If you go to your Google or your system, you are on a system now, just type facebook.com. It will bring out a Facebook page which you are familiar with. Yes, a blue page. Once we see a blue page, we know that it's either Facebook or the X, or that's old Twitter. But now, that is the only thing you are seeing. After inputting your name, okay, maybe you want to register your dad's name, your first name, third name, all those blah 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 informations. The next thing, you just click submit. You discover that you are not seeing anything again. What you are operating on is called the application. Where all your input disappeared to is known as the presentation. That's the server side. So if we now use what I've explained now, we combine them together and try to use it to explain these first two lines. Let me retake it again. The processor intensive processing is taken care of in the application layer. Once the presentation layer collects, what's it collecting? The input from yourself, your first name, second name, whatever input you want to put. After collecting it, the required data from the client and passes it to the application layer. Then the component working on this layer can apply business logic to the data. Then the output is then returned to the presentation layer, which is the server side, to be sent back to the client whenever you need it. For instance, if you don't have account with Facebook, there's no way you will want to come back and take or have what you have not input. That is exactly what this particular point is emphasizing on. The output then returned to the presentation layer, then sent it back to the client whenever you need it. So if the client requests some data, maybe you want to log into your file, maybe you want to have, maybe someone sent you a message. Maybe, for instance, I have a friend, I've messaged him for a while and he's not responding. All I need to do is, oh, so person, I've messaged you on platform, you are not responding, what happened? So if the person is going back to that, he must log in, then the server send back or preview whatever the person wants to do. But if the person has never registered with that platform, there's no even way for me to even send message in the first place. So that is how these layers works: the presentation layers and the application layer. So let's see the last layer. We have the data access layer, which is very, very important. The data access layer. This particular layer, which is the data access layer, and the first layer, they are interwoven. If care is not taken, you mistaking one for another. But let me quickly explain this. The actual storage and the data repository works at the data access layer. Now, when a client requires data or send data for a storage, it passed down by the application layer, which is through the application. Let me try to explain this better so that we all understand this. Me myself as a client, I want to register. Let us know I don't have Facebook account. I want to register with Facebook. So the Facebook itself, maybe I'm using my laptop. The Facebook page I'm seeing is the application, or I have it on my mobile. That's why we say I want to download app. I want to download app. That is the application. Whatever information I'm entering is known as data. So it is something that will connect what I'm entering to the server where it must go and be stored, and which is the application, the presentation layers. So there's connection between the two. Let me take this presentation layer as the back end, the application as the front end, exactly. Then in between these two, something must go from one point to another, and that is the data, exactly. And that is what we mean by data. So that is the data access layer we are talking about here. So when a client requires data or send the data for storage, it passed down by the application layer to the data access layer for persistent storage. And what do you mean by persistent storage? For a while, I've input my name. As is whether it's still my name. I've put my email, I've put my password for Facebook. If I want to come back, sorry, I'm not coming back yet. Once I click submit, that after filling the form, I've register, submit, it will stored. The data will go and stored in persistent storage, so that whenever I want to log in, I want to come back, maybe to modify my profile or to change some things or to just do some things there, then I can come. Then the server, which is the presentation layer, will send back to me what I need. So that is how that one work. Now, they are also responsible for managing concurrent connection from the application layer. That is data layer. We have my SQL, Microsoft SQL. Fine. That's one thing that makes cybersecurity to be very, very what adjective can I use to qualify it? Is broad, as in it's too vast. You as a cybersecurity, they are expecting you to know everything because you are a protector. You want to protect. And what do you want to protect? You want to protect the whole world. And that means you must know the whole world. You must know HTML, you know CSS, you know everything. You know everything, as in you know everything. Even if you don't know everything to the core, just have ideas of everything. This database we are talking about, they have mentioned MySQL, they have mentioned SQL, we have NoSQL, we have Oracle, we have a lot of them. You as a cybersecurity, because you don't know which company is going to hire you or which company is going to call you to give you a contract, and you don't know which of these tools they must have used in their own application. Some uses MySQL, some uses NoSQL, some uses SQL alone, some uses Oracle. And in this case, if as assumption, if you have mastered only MySQL and you have gotten a job or a contract that involves Oracle database and you don't have any idea, by the time you use your automated scanning tools, you now come across something different, so it doesn't sound well. So in this case, you just need to touch everything touchable. In this case, you just need to touch everything touchable. So when you create a website that reads and writes data to a database, it uses the structured query language, which is the SQL, that query the database for the required information. So if you go just extra mile to just think outside the box, go extra mile to learn, at least even if it is to read, just to have idea, and just try to understand one or two syntax of these databases, you are okay. You are okay. You are not. It's not that you be the one to be writing the queries. No, just understand them and you are okay. Even the HTML that we are talking about, you might not be developing or designing website. No, all you just need to do, the best thing you just need to do is have the idea. Okay, when you see an HTML code, you should be able to read and understand. And that does not mean you must develop a website. No, that is not what we are saying here. So now this is the diagram that will explain it better, the multi-tier web applications. Now following is the diagram showing the working of presentation and application and the data access layers. It all works together. Now can we see what we have on the screen? Is the diagram clear? Can we see it?
Yes, sir, it is, sir.
Very good.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Very good. So if you look at this, we have a client. When we have that web client, and that is you, that is me. Let's assume I'm sitting down. Me sitting down, I'm sitting at that position of where we have web client. The arrow means my laptop. My laptop. Now, inside my laptop, I have web application. I have because I will just assume that I want to visit Abuja from here at the front of my laptop, and that is a server for me. That is a server for me. So anything I pressed on my laptop is what I'm pressing something on. Automatically, with the help of internet, it will connect to the application layer. They use PHP and .asp for application. Most especially when we are talking about web, we are talking about PHP for the back end. So the PHP will process the application, whatever I want to request for. Then it will now think, I'm just using normal language so that we will all flow together. For instance, I want to, after registering with Facebook, I want to come back and log in with my account, then display my pictures, maybe check some of my friends that maybe I sent some requests. Then I want to see most of them that have accepted my request. So I have to log in. So that presentation layer, then it will now go to the PHP. It will go to the PHP and it will now request, oh, this information you are asking for, is it truly stored in the database? That is why we have the database below. So it will think, if your database if your information is stored in the database, then it will still follow the arrow back to the PHP. The database send it back to the PHP and say, okay, I found it, so take it. So since the client needs it So the PHP take it back to the presentation. So and you will see it on your screen that, oh, it is available. But if at the end, what information you are asking for is not in the database, it will send it back to the application layer, which is the PHP, and say not found. So if it is not found, it takes it back to what is presentation layer. So you just see not found on your screen, and you as a web client, you just remain the same thing. So that is how the arrows, and that is exactly what the arrows explain. So that is that. Let me see. Then let's quickly explain this. I intentionally put this, and I'll quickly explain it in a little way. I have the CIA concept. When we're talking about security, any cybersecurity guys is a must. I must use the word must. You must know these three, or we call it triad. The CAI triad. So the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability. And this is all about cybersecurity. And let me quickly explain them one after the other. The CIA in cybersecurity refers to the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability. But as at today, I want you to remember this. As at today, it is now 4. It is no longer 3. So the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability. So these are widely used information security models that can guide an organization's effort and policies aimed at keeping their data secure. The CIA triad is the most fundamental concept in cybersecurity, like I have said. The most fundamental concept that all cybersecurity personnel must understood. That is the end for today's class. But before we end today's class, I've said that we have a very short quiz. It's just 5 questions, and it's just 2 minutes. Are we together? 5 questions, 2 minutes. I think I have messages. Let me check. Is someone sending message? Okay, please, the form is no longer. Yes, I have said that the form will automatically close once it is 15. Once it is 8:15, it will close itself. Even this test you are doing, it will automatically submit itself once 2 minutes exceeded. So I was unable to access the form, and I was online since. Wow. No, I sent it more than 10 times. I'm seeing it here. You can even see. I sent this form 7:56. I sent it 7:59. Even we have not joined. I sent it 8 on dot. I sent it 8:01. I sent it 8:04. And again, I sent it 8:05. Wow. I think I've tried. Network. Yes.
Don't accept. Sorry. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening, sir. I was the one that just sent that message now.
Okay.
You sent it all those times. Yes. But then if you look at when you sent it by 8:04,
yes.
And Asen Guvesi said she cannot. She asked what the form was for. Now when you sent the form again by 8:05, I came up and said network is dealing with some of us. Then later again I said I can't access the form. I have sincerely been struggling to access the form. I have been unable to access the form.
I've been online since what? At what is that same time?
If you look at
I still can't. Yes, I still can't access the form, and it is almost 8:15. Oh.
If you look at the message thread by 8:05,
yes.
After you have dropped the message, the form, the link,
yes,
the link on the form by 8:05, a certain person said
network is dealing with yes.
Now that was me. Now that's me. Now a lady again said same year I can't access it. Now by 8:07, I said something. I said I can't access the form. I have sincerely been in this class since 8:03 or thereabout, but I was unable to access the form till the time elapsed.
Okay, you know what? Shebi, you can all see the screen.
I have been in class.
Wow, I have 8. Wow. 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 8 I have 8. Imagine, I have 8. Only 8 submitted the forms. Probably it is network. And it is network. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. Okay. This is in the form. Were you around yesterday, Kester?
Eh, yes, I was around yesterday, but then well, I was on transit, so I could barely listen. I could barely
Okay,
listen to
follow
you
up.
very well.
Okay.
I was around yesterday, but I was on transit.
Okay. Okay. Let me just seize this opportunity to share light to the attendance. The attendance thing is just to after the end of everything, you are going to write a final exam, and that final exam you are going to be awarded certificate. And again, the reason why I'm emphasizing on that certificate this much is just because some people this is in Nigeria. We can you understand what I mean. You can just bypass some things and
Understand
pass
very
it
well.
by just to do the exam and do very well. Then I don't know, ChatGPT is there, Google is there, and just come and defend yourself. Just fumble, and by the time they ask you who trained you, where did you get this thing by, you just go and mention my name. I'm in trouble.
Excuse me, sir. I intend to take this class serious. That's one. Then
Okay.
two, I intend to take this
No, I'm
class
not even
serious.
directing it to you. I'm not directing it to you.
No, I know you're not directing it to me.
Okay.
I'm saying,
All right.
one, I intend to take this class very serious. That's one. I sincerely intend to take it serious. I understand on some days there'll be glitches and all.
Okay.
But then again, as per the test, certificate and all of that, like I said, because I intend to take it serious,
Yeah.
I also intend to benefit from all those things. And then beyond passing the exam,
Oh,
I
sure.
intend and I hope to know it. Now, beyond passing the exam, I intend and I hope to know it. Now, that said, because you have said attendance is mandatory for exams, and we don't get certificates if we don't do exams, I don't know how you can make me be a part of today's attendance because
Okay.
I
You know
sincerely
what I'll do?
since
Okay. You know
8
what I'll do? You know what we do to just cut everything. Okay. I won't take today's. Okay. I won't take this week attendance serious. Is that
No,
okay?
I sincerely think you should take my attendance and other person's attendance that has been here, but for one reason or another they could not, most likely because of network, they could not come online. And I won't say you should not take, you should scrap attendance. I would ask that you find a way. If you look at the message trail, you will see that my messages have been on since 8:05.
Okay.
Of course, if my
Yes.
messages have been on since 8:05, it means I have been in this class since 8:05.
Yes. 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 Sure.
Exactly. So if I can put up messages by 8:05, it means I'll be here at about that time, long before the 8:15. Of course, it means I am privy to those things. I will
Oh.
find a way to, I will just ask that my name be included and all other persons too that can defend the fact that they've been in class.
Okay.
I won't ask that you scrap class. I think that would be unfair. I will
Okay.
say to this point, persons that have been in class and can defend that they have been in class
All right.
with proof one way or the other
All right.
before 8:15, but were unable to mark attendance.
Okay.
Their name should be included in the attendance.
All right.
That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. I'm sharing the link to the test, to the quiz, and it lasts for just 2 minutes. Last just for 2 minutes. It's just 5 questions. It's just 5 questions. This man.
Balance. God.
What do you say?
No, I'm just thinking aloud.
Oh, okay, all right.
Balance. It's
Just try to attend the
really
quiz.
frustrating.
It
That's really
automatically
frustrating.
close once it is doctor. Yes, Mr. Dominic. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I will get the form because I'm not just that form.
I don't understand. You are not audible. You are not audible. It's not. Yes, I hardly hear what you are saying. Excuse me. Sorry, sir. I have online session, and those children are shouting. That's why I quickly use it. I'm very sorry, sir. Okay. Yes. Dominic, are you still with me? Yes. Can you speak louder? Wow. I think yes. Yes. Speak up.
I said I'm quite new to the platform, so as I tried to send to some, I was actually online, but I could not accept. I didn't know how to do it back filling the form.
Wow. I hardly hear you. I'm not getting. You can just drop a message. Drop a message. Have we all? Let me see those that responded. Okay. All right. Wow, your network is worst. Wow. What can I do on this?
Sorry, sir. The funny thing I noticed about this network is that
Okay.
for some reason some apps tend to work better and then some are very very not so good on the network. Take for instance now my WhatsApp takes like forever to load up messages. And
Wow.
I've been on this Google Meet since and it has not even glitched for a second.
Wow.
Same thing applies to YouTube. My YouTube is so slow, but Instagram is going fast. So I
Ah.
just don't understand.
And they gave this useless. Sorry, these people say we should give them 5 good weeks to restore this network of a thing.
5 weeks.
Yes, 5 good weeks before they will restore
And someone is
everything.
supposed to go on with their daily activities. That's a long time.
In fact 5 weeks. When I read the news yesterday, I was like 5 weeks is too much.
Five,
What?
that's a month and a week.
I'm thinking of what we could do to help ourselves. A lot of complain about network. Okay, you know what you do? If you can access the form, just try to do it. That's the quiz. If you can't, just still don't worry. Wow, a lot. Okay, don't worry. As time goes on, okay, this is what I'll do. Tomorrow evening, everyone should just get ready. You are going to retake this test. I will discard this particular one. I'm going to reset the test. Then we do it, but make sure that you get ready by 8. I will post the link before 8. Try to access it, refresh, and do some preparation before that 8. So once it is 8, because I will time it, once it is 8, you can just kickstart.
Sir, but for me, I can't access my browser.
Is
Once
it
I
is it
try
network
to,
is it network issue also?
yes, it's network issue. I can't go on Google or Chrome or anything. That's why I'm not able to access the form.
Let's ask these people. Let's ask them. My own network is good. They have hacked them. All is
Also,
well.
maybe you can suggest any VPN that we can use because I learned that they're talking about one on Twitter, but I've not been able to see the VPN.
If you use VPN, I'm not sure VPN will still work. I'm not sure of that because you still remain here in Nigeria, and just your location that will change. It won't, I'm not sure whether it's going to make it perfect, but you can just try it, yeah. Anything is possible. You can just try it. Try to use VPN, just normal VPN. You can use. I don't want to recommend. I'm not advertising for anybody. So, but the normal one you normally use PIA. That one is common. Use PIA. So maybe it will work.
So you said Pia.
Ah, you are advertising for them already. Yes. Use PIA. Try it if it works. But I don't know. My own network has been working fine. the network I'm using has been working perfectly, and both on phone and laptops. So, but nevertheless, it depends. Just try to. Just try to. So, don't worry. Like I've said, tomorrow you are going to retake the test, and the concerning the attendance, I will see what to do to that. I already have record of those attended, so don't worry. I know the way I collate the attendance automatically, and even the one you are filling yourself. I don't want to be posting the attendance link on the platform, because we have more than 200 on our platform, and we have less than 30 here, so that it won't be an advantage for those that did not attend at all to just have the access to fill the form like that. So that is that. So any questions before we end today's session? If you have questions, okay. Bishop Amaleye, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry, please. I asked you to, like, on the message, like, can you just tell me the fourth CIA? I didn't
Oh,
quite get the fourth one.
and if you have attended the question, that was the last question. I intentionally didn't put the fourth one, and in the quiz, I'm saying it already. I will remove it from the quiz, but let me tell you, I've mentioned confidentiality, I've mentioned the integrity, I've mentioned which other one? Availability. Is it not availability? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It is, sir.
So who can think of the fourth one? It also starts with A. In the slide, we mentioned these two. Yes. This, right? This and this. It remained just one, and it started with A. Who can think?
Accessibility.
Availability is still the same thing as accessibility.
Please, what's the question again?
The question is no, it's not accountability. It started with A also. I said the CIA triad we are talking about is 3. It was 3, let me say that. But as of today, it is now 4. But here and everywhere you see it, they don't, or let me say we don't intentionally put the last 4, but we always hide it to claim, I don't know, but it is 4. So we have the confidentiality, the integrity, the availability, and
Should I say accessibility?
accessibility is the same thing as availability. Something that is available, you can access it. Authenticity, that's authentic, how authentic it is. Authenticity. That's authenticity. That's the fourth one. And you tried, Abby?
It's 5 times 1, 5.
No. I said 4. The confidentiality, 1, integrity, availability, and authenticity. Is that clear? So if you are choosing the last number 5, the answer is 4, not 3. The answer is 4, not 3. Just take note of that. As of today, it is now 4, no longer 3. So that's that. Any other question aside that?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I didn't quite get where you posted the link for the test. It's
For
on
the test?
WhatsApp group. So I don't know.
No, I didn't post any. I've not been posting on the WhatsApp group, and I've said the reason why I won't be posting on the WhatsApp group. So
Can you get it for tomorrow?
I won't be expecting
Okay, so
anybody
where will I
to.
find the link for the test?
The test, it has closed already because it's just 2 minutes test, and I timed it just like the attendance as well. I timed it. Once it passed that time frame I set to it, no one will be able to access it again. Even if I send the link again, you won't be able to access it. So what I will do is this: tomorrow evening by 8, all of us should be expecting the quiz link. I will post that one on the link on the platform. So you all access it, then you do it. But be expecting 15 questions. I will increase it. I will increase it. Is that clear? Okay. Any other question?
But it will be 2 minutes again, sir.
Sir?
15 minutes or 2 minutes.
No. I will increase the time. No, I will increase the time.
Better.
Yes, I will increase the time. So,
Better. Thank
all right,
you.
all right. For those of us that did the test, that did the quiz, if you can signify, who scored 5 over 5? What about 4? What about 4?
Majo.
Yeah, I scored 4.
You scored 4. Oh, which one did you miss? Which one did you miss?
The what's it called? The structure something.
Oh.
The one you eat, the CIA.
Okay.
CIA the structure something.
Okay. You did well, boss. You did well, Mr. Kamaldin. You did well.
Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. So,
I want that work.
So no problem. We'll call it a day for today. Okay. Adebayo you score 4. That's Madam. She scored 4. That's who? Who other person? 4 over 5. Proj 4 over 5. So no one scored 5. Wow. Although you tried. No problem. So just prepare against tomorrow. I want to see all of you to score 15 over 15. I want to see all of you to score 15 over 15. So, thank you guys. If there is no more question, who raised? Okay, someone raised his hand. Proj TV. Do you want to say anything? Oh, Dominic, yes, go ahead. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you.
Sir, for those that have done the test already, you don't have to come to line tomorrow again.
Yes, all of you we must do the test tomorrow again.
You have the question you have to think.
Don't worry, I will reshuffle all the questions. Don't expect what you did today tomorrow. It's totally going to be different entirely. So the session will expire just now. So by God's grace, we'll meet on platform tomorrow for the test, but we'll meet online virtually for by Saturday for next class. So if you have any question, don't hesitate to drop it on the platform, and people are ready to assist. So thank you guys. Let's meet tomorrow on the platform and next week
Thank
virtually.
you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mas. So, all right, sir.
Well done. Please,
thank you, sir. Prof, sir. All right,
Mr.
sir.
Weda,
Mr.
please,
Kamodi.
for the slide.
Yes. Oh,
the slide.
I will send the slide to the group, or should I send it here?
All right.
No, send it to the group.
I do.
Group.
Yeah.
Okay, I will send to the group. I will do that. Thank you.